There's another update on another superstar in our league. Warriors star Stephen Curry will return to the Golden State lineup on Sunday against the Wizards, sources are telling The Athletic. Curry on track for comeback 4 months after surgery on his broken left hand.
Welcome back, Steph.
All right, you guys, thoughts on this debut, if you will? He's coming back against the Wizards of all teams.
Hey, coming back against the Wizards. I'm gonna go ahead. Hey, Steph, you might fool a lot of people, but you can't fool me. Steph has seen the way the Wizards have been playing defense lately. Steph knew he was coming back. He was looking at that schedule. He was like, nah, yeah. Them right there. Listen, the Wizards can't guard anybody. Look for Steph Curry to possibly come back and have a really, really big game. It wouldn't surprise me if he stepped right up on the court and had another 30-point game. That's how bad the Wizards are defensively.
You know what, B? Myself, a number of analysts, we said, Steph, just sit out, man. Why do you want to play? But the one thing, when you watch the Warriors play, he's been on the bench. It's common for stars while they're missing time to sit in the back. You're kind of soaked. You're getting your feelings. But I assure you guys, if you've ever played a sport on any level, there's nothing worse than sitting out and having to watch. So, Steph Curry, I get it, brother. You are itching to get on the court, man. But listen, please stay safe, okay?
But it's a broken hand. It's not like he's coming back from an ACL like Clay. I'd be more worried about that. A broken hand, as long as that hand is healed, bones heal a lot faster than ligaments. And once they heal, they're pretty much a little bit stronger. So I like him coming back. He is the heart and soul of this team. He is the leader. And I think the fact that he's coming back, he can lead some of these young guys, especially a guy like Wiggins. I think it's imperative and very important that Steph and Wiggins get to play with each other a little bit so we can see the Golden State Warriors get the best out of Wiggins next season. Steph is putting a down payment into Wiggins right now because he knows it's going to pay off next year.
Well, the one thing is in regards to Steph Curry, if he gets back on the court versus earlier in the season, he tried to lead this team to the playoffs. He tried everything he could, and even when he got hurt, he was almost forcing his way to the rim. That wasn't quite Steph Curry basketball. If he comes back and plays, I don't want to say he's going to have to be okay with losing, but he's going to have to trust the rest of his teammates, play within the flow, and we don't want to see any wild plays, no hero ball. Look forward to next season, but like you said, Brent, I couldn't agree more. Build culture. Right now, culture is more important than wins and losses in teaching these young guys how to compete because that will pay off.
Yeah.
Hey, he can get a little bit of hero ball against those Wizards, though. I'm just saying. They're
not your Wizards, man.
Yeah, but defense is optional around there now, man.
The Warriors are playing tonight, guys, and they've lost 6 straight. The reason why I bring that up is because of what you just mentioned. The culture, the wins and losses. We showed those highlights of Steph Curry encouraging and cheering for his teammates. I believe he's very excited to get back.
Yeah.
This is almost going to be like a back to the warm-up brought to you by Ford. Let's take a look at this comparison. The Greek Freak versus Yickity.
Spicy P.
This season, I mean, the numbers look real. Field goal percentage, though, Giannis well over 50. Rebounding, advantage Giannis. Assists, also advantage Giannis. But Pascal Siakam has been very consistent this season.
Yeah, this has been a big-time jump in Pascal Siakam's game. And part of the reason why Toronto is playing so well this season, he has made one of the biggest jumps, I think, in NBA history. When you look at the fact, a couple of seasons ago, this guy was in the G League.
Yeah.
He went from being in the G League to being a rotational player to being a key component of a championship team to being the man. And you normally don't see guys grow that quickly. I knew Pascal Siakam could play. I was waiting to see, could he be the guy? Could he be the guy to lead a team? I got my answer early on in this season, and the answer was an emphatic yes. Pascal Siakam's been playing great. This team in Toronto is playing great. There's a swagger about them, a confidence. I went to see their training camp, and you could just tell that they believe that even though Kawhi Leonard wasn't there, they were still going to be able to do a lot of incredible things this year. And they have. I think they've been one of the biggest shocks and the best stories in the NBA. This team's ahead of the pace they were on last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing you got to credit Pascal for, and you've been there, B, everything starts at the top.
Yes.
So right now, he's owned being the team's best player, and it's not just on the offensive end. Defensively, he absolutely gets after it. He's got a high motor. He shows up to play each and every night. And I go back to last year's playoffs against Milwaukee. Now, he wasn't quite the player he is now, and Brendan, you talked about his improvement, but he got valuable minutes playing with Kawhi Leonard, seeing him in practice, seeing how he works, how he approaches games, and then competing against Giannis Antetokounmpo, our last year's MVP. So he's right on pace. This is, I don't want to say big brother, little brother, but he's a little more of a nemesis now, and he's going to go out and compete against Giannis. I mean, B, he had a couple plays where he went upstairs and got big rebounds over Giannis, scored over him. So there's no fear from Pascal Siakam, and he's arguably maybe the second best equipped to guard him in the Eastern Conference now.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that statement.
They've won 17 of 19, the Toronto Raptors have. They've got a fight ahead of them tonight in the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks have only lost 8 games this entire season. But here's something that might be an advantage for Toronto. It's their second out of a back-to-back for the Bucks, third game in 4 days.
Right.
Last game, Giannis fouled out. Does that factor into this game tonight?
I don't think the fouling out factors in. I think maybe the fact that they're coming off of a back-to-back factors in the 3 games within 4 days. Sometimes your legs can be a little bit heavy. But I also look at this Toronto team. I look at what Nick Nurse did last year as far as scheming. He's one of the better coaches in this league that doesn't get the credit. I think he should be the coach of the year this year. I think they're going to have a game plan for Giannis. I think they're going to build the wall. They're going to double him with length at times. When I watched that playoff series last year, Giannis did not respond well to double teams with length. When he was double teamed with guys like when Serge Ibaka and those tall guys came
guard,
down,
right?
Opposed to a guard, those passes that he threw to the opposite side of the court were hang time passes that allowed the defense to get there. So I want to see what Giannis is going to do tonight. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. But this Toronto team, like you said, has no fear. They have confidence. They believe that they match up very well with the Milwaukee Bucks.
You know, it's interesting. We got to keep looking back to that playoff series. He didn't show his cards early in games 1, 2, or 3 against Giannis. Kawhi Leonard didn't guard him until later on in the series. So I had to expect that tonight. Coach Nick Nurse is saying, we're going to see you guys down the line. I'm not showing my hand, so you may see different defenders. Spicy P may not guard Giannis at all and say, well, let's see this matchup later on down the line. So I'm intrigued to see how it works. But the one thing I love about Toronto, they compete. And you brought it up earlier. Their length is different. These aren't going to be guards double teaming, but they're just as big, just as athletic. And also, look at this note, too. The top teams in the NBA, while everybody's getting younger, everybody's, rebuilding, three-point shooting, these are teams with size and veteran leadership. Toronto, Milwaukee, the Lakers, big teams, size, athletic. The Nuggets got good size. So, it's kind of winning out in an era, so to speak, of small ball, B.
Yeah, listen, they say it's a small ball era, but there's still some good things that can happen when you got some tall guys out there.
Got some 7-footers on stage.
Hey, man, you know what we were going to do out here. We're going to big it up with the big men.
The centerpiece right here. Okay, Chris Middleton for the Bucks. He's been an excellent number 2. I'm not even going to call him a sidekick because he's been playing well ahead of sidekick level. Coming off of a 40-point game, can he sustain this high level of play into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think he can, just because he's very efficient, and you look at the type of shots he gets. Middleton isn't forcing up bad shots. He's getting his shots within the flow of the offense. Giannis creates a problem. He's able to get his shots off of double teams. At the same time, he gets shots in transition. This team is excellent in transition, and they play great team basketball. Every once in a while, he takes it upon himself to go out there and get it himself, but I think Middleton can keep this up because when you look at a guy that scores as well as he does, they take a couple of bad shots every now and then. That's not really what he does. He shoots such a high efficiency number simply because he understands how to play basketball and where the good shots are. This guy doesn't hunt shots.
B, I couldn't agree more. When I think of Chris Middleton, I think of Zach Randolph in this stance. Not only is he efficient, he's efficient because he can score in small spaces. Normally, some guys need to be wide open from 3 or in a show-and-go type of situation. He can bump off a guard from that mid-post, turn and fade away, and he's going to hit that shot 8, if not 9 out of 10 times. So the way he knows how to use that big frame, he's all a 6'7", 6'8", playing the wing, running the wing, and can pull up and shoot a deep 3. He's comfortable scoring in spaces and over guards. So that's why you love Middleton. And he's also a guy, B, if he don't get his shots early, he's still efficient. Yeah. His number is ready to be called. So you have to love what he's bringing to the table in limited touches or limited opportunities, so to speak, because they're going to play through Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Well, Chris Middleton is turning himself into a 50-40-90 guy this season, very quietly. The warm-up will continue as we give you a nice look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shay.
SGA.
Taking on the Bulls tonight, coming off of a game where they had 8 players score 10 or more. The Thunder, led by this guy, 22 points for him. Hey there, welcome to the warm-up, brought to you by Ford. I'm Stephanie Reddy. We've got Ryan Hollins in the building, 10-year NBA vet, and Brendan Haywood, NBA champion.
Glad to be here.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, good.
I like how you coming in with it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're thrilled you're here with us. We've got a doubleheader on TNT tonight, but we've got 7 games across the association, and we also have some news to report for you all. good news for the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry is set to return to action on Sunday. That game is against the Washington Wizards, so we're expecting big numbers out of Steph Curry. His wrist looking good. LeBron James.